welcome to part 4 of my Insurgency Sandstorm bite-sized tips for new players. I hope you found some of the content useful, and please do let me know if you agree or disagree with anything I'm saying in the comments below. So I was chatting to a friend about this, and he said to me that the most frustrating part of Sandstorm is working out where enemies are before they take you out. Now this is always going to be a challenge, especially if you are very new to the game. If you remember from part 1, I mentioned that sound is extremely important and you should be listening out for audio cues that give away enemy positions, such as radio chatter, weapons and in-game commands. There are other things you need to look out for, such as a weapon's muzzle flash. Now my tip would be to listen for those audio cues, then find some cover and quickly peek over walls or windows until you see where the shooting is coming from. Make sure you return to cover before lining up your shot and only engage if you have the right weapon for the job, which you can see in the following example. Nasty. Are pistols any good? Well, to be honest, I think you should prioritise your supply points on the primary weapon and explosives, unless of course you are a gunner or sniper class, in which case I would have one for close quarters situations. If you are going to equip the pistol, definitely use that quick draw holster as mentioned in previous videos, and make sure you push hard as they are way more effective at close range. Did you know there's a compass? When players call something in using the built-in radio, the compass will briefly appear at the bottom of the screen with a marker indicating that particular area of interest. As a new player, it might be beneficial to toggle this on permanently, which can help with map orientation and team callouts. Have a look in the menu and enable the keybind if it's not already set up, and choose whichever works best for you. If you like to blow stuff up, then Demolition class is for you. This can be really powerful both in offensive and defensive roles, and a great way to rack up loads of kills. You'll have access to all the explosives in the game, from rocket launchers to C4, and also grenade launcher attachments to primary weapons. The thing I'd recommend you do first is ensure you equip Heavy Carrier to increase the amount you can carry and also double the capacity of explosive rounds. So for defense, I always rush forward to try and get some early frags with the launcher, focusing fire on any vehicles that might be pushing the objective and loaded with players. As most players will be congregated together in the early stages of the game, this is a great way to get lots of kills and also deny a first wave push. The launchers are deadly and have a fairly large blast radius, so don't be afraid to fire into a contested point without being able to see the enemy. Sometimes it's best just to fire a rocket into a room where you think they might be, as 80% of the time they'll be hiding behind some flimsy furniture. Nasty! Oh my god! On the offensive side, the launchers can be a great way to end the stalemate on a contested point. You'll get better at this the longer you play and the more you learn about the maps and where players are likely to be hidden. Aim close to where you think they are hiding and the explosion should do the rest. Oh, and try not to injure your team in the process. I might be wrong about this, but equipping gas masks as soon as you spawn seems to have no detrimental effect on the player, so I've got into a habit of doing this at the start to avoid being caught out in smoke or gas attacks, especially running into contested points. Should you use the knife? I very rarely do, unless it's a desperate situation or the team have steamrolled through the opposition and now we're just messing with them. It is a one slice kill but extremely risky, so do proceed with caution. I genuinely find it funny how players, myself included, seem to panic when they see a guy running at them with a knife. Get used to pre-firing as you enter a room. If you see someone or reckon they're going to be hiding around the corner, start shooting before they can see you. If you want lots of kills, you need to take a risk and be disgusting. Once you get used to the map and know roughly where the enemies are going to spawn, go to them and wait. This is more of an advanced tactic to be covered in later videos. And if you're the player just spawning, be ready for anything. Jesus. This is what happens when you stay by the window for too long. Can you capture a point on your own? Well, yes is the short answer, and sometimes you have to because the team are either dead or not playing the objective. Check out one of my other videos showing me up against what felt like the entire team whilst capturing a point. But if you do find yourself in this situation, keep moving around, watch for grenades, and wait for the inevitable enemy push. Like I said in the very first video, you need to be aggressive, so when the enemies arrive, make sure you go to them. Before I conclude part 4, a plea to very new players. Please only pick classes if you have at least a basic understanding of what they do. The amount of times I've had observers run off on me and do their own thing whilst I'm frantically trying to call in fire support can be a tad frustrating. Anyway, hope you found some of this useful, and I'll see you next time. What? Why? And then an observer comes along.